So if you're like most people, you're looking for more than just a strategy. You're looking for a trading system, something that's going to tell you, hey, trade here, trade this time now, right? Everybody tells you trade 9:30 to 11, this and that. You got 3 hours to sit at the this and whatever. How about I've got something that these are 4 hour candles on NQ. I've got something that'll help you determine when the candle is done wicking and actually dropping right here. Yep. Or done wicking down and actually pushing. How about that? What do you think about that? Right. And it's very real. It's patent pending. There's nothing else like it that's ever existed. It's the first of its kind. And it's institutional grade and it's available for retail traders. And I'm going to show it to you right now. So we're going to trade the 4 hour candle, right? And we're going to trade at 10 a.m. and we're going to trade at 2 p.m. That's it. 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. every day. We just look at 10 and we look at 2. Then we go for an NQ scalp, make however much position size you want to put in. I usually run about 100 ticks, or I go anywhere from 10 to 30 points, somewhere around in that range. I kind of trail a little bit. I use Ninja on a Ninja Trader, and this is available on Ninja Trader as well. But let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to turn that on. We're going to go here, and then we're going to go there. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to turn off the candles. So right here is 10 a.m. This is the start of a new zone right here. Okay. I'm going to turn off the candles just so I can show you what I'm talking about and what's going on. So we're going to go right to 10 o'clock. Reset back to 10. So this zone right here is the previous 4 hour candle. Okay. And this is the value area of that candle, basically, sort of, kind of. A little more complicated than that, but we're just going to keep it simple. Now, just for this label, this is telling you right now a new one is starting, right? And you can see it actually forming here. I'm going to turn that label off because it's just clean up the screen a little bit. And then what we're looking for is a cross, under, and over. So we're looking for the wave of the market, right? Or if we're looking for a cross up and then under, we're just looking for that wave, right? And this is at 10 a.m. So we're going to do this, and we're going to keep going. So we've got our cross under, okay? Now, if this was to come up and retest this and come down, I would go for the short, me personally. But you should really wait for the crossovers if you're a newer trader and you don't really understand what's going on. But here, okay, there's the crossover right. No, one more. Okay, there it is right there. So I'm going to get into the trade. Let's look at the candles. Okay, so there's where price is right there. That's what that line's there. I love Heikin-Ashi, but I have it set, just if you didn't know that. You can go symbol real prices on price scale. So instead of it being the Heikin-Ashi average, this is actual real price. So I'm setting it there, putting my stop loss there, right? And I'm going to target, I don't know, 50 ticks, 50 points, which is 200 ticks. Or you can just go for 100, which I usually do, which is almost a 1-to-1. But we'll just go for 1-to-1. How about that? Right? So we're in the trade right here. We're in it, and let's see what happens. Boom, there it hits. See that? So if you had 2 or 3 contracts on this, and you just had a $1,500 day. Pretty nice, huh? Now, let's just get out of here since I showed you how it works. Let's go look at 2 o'clock. Or that same day. Where are we? So this was it right here. Yep. Okay, so then 2 o'clock rolls around. Here we go. So what happens? Well, and I'm just going to turn this off for now so we can see that we get a cross up and then a cross under. So at 210, you had your boom straight down right there. There you go. There's your, you definitely got 100 out of that. Okay, there you go. See, look, we're getting into 140, 35 points. So you're definitely having a couple $1,000 day there, right? Now let's go back and look at other days. So that's 6 a.m. We don't want that. That is 2 a.m. See, you can do this at, here we go. Watch. This is in the middle of the night. Cross under, cross up. There you go. 2 a.m. So basically 4 hour intervals, but 10 a.m. into 2 p.m. is good enough. So this is 10 p.m., which it also works. Look, cross under, cross over, and it goes up. Let's see here. What do we got going on here? That's 6 p.m. We don't want that. So here's 2 p.m. Okay, here's a 2 p.m. one. And look at this right here. So we get a cross under and look at, oh, this is actually a rejection and it comes back down. So here's actually a shorting opportunity at 2 o'clock. But you always wait for some kind of crossover or whatever, right? And if you're newer, you just wouldn't take that trade. So here's 10 a.m. cross under, crossover, and look at price breaks out to the upside. Let's see if we actually get enough to make this worth it right there. So we get about 21 points. Not bad. It's not gonna work every time. Not everything works 100% of the time. But that is the gist of this 10 a.m., 2 p.m., or every 4-hour interval. So if you're trading 4-hour candles, this is a really good way to figure out what's going on. Okay, 2 p.m. right here. Cross up, cross under, there's your scalp. Right there. Boom. See? And then by the time it gets down here, we've got our 40 ticks. When was that? That was 6. So we're in liquidity. So their moves aren't as big as they normally are. We can all agree to that. But if you go back and you look at this throughout the entire year, this is an edge. This is an extreme edge. And anybody can do it. Anybody from beginner to advanced can add this to their arsenal and use it. And this is just one way to use this system. This thing doesn't just do 4-hour candles. This thing does any time frame you want. And then we also have session based. So here's New York right here. So this will start creating these zones when New York session starts, and it will give you the zone just like this. So here's 9:30, and then look at you're shorting. You're not buying when you're below. You're only selling, right? And then when you get inside, you're in chop and you just stay out, right? And that's New York. And then we have our if you're a 350 algo trader, so you can trade the 350 algo setup. So at 350, just it's common belief that there's an algorithm that goes off, right? And if you trade it, well, this is chopped out to hell. But if it's a very smooth breakaway from the zone, I will actually trade that. And here it is right here. So you got 350 right here, boom, 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 right under the zone. And that's something I would trade. And then there's you another, 10, 20 points. And then you can keep trading off of that zone. It's a really good indication of bias throughout the day. That's what I actually use to find bias throughout the day for myself. And then here's a 350 break up, and it just keeps going. So, yeah, there's that zone there. If you have any questions, let us know in our Discord. The Discord links are in our description. The website's in our description. It comes with a free trial. And then we use our institutional ladder here. So here is our institutional ladder, and I'll just show you how accurate this thing is. I'll actually pull back and just zoom out. And these are leading prices that you can use to determine if you want to get into trades or not, or actually use them as levels. Hey, I'm going to trade from this level, right? And then when you turn on your tools, your First Light Beacon tool, you can start to see how that's going to actually help you determine if you should be going in those directions or not. And we're actually going to set this back to time-based. And you can run more than one of these at a time. So here's a 15-minute and a 4-hour, okay? So how would you trade this break? So this gets you interested in, then the 4-hour comes in, and we actually come back up and tap into this end cap, 15-minute end cap right here, which is the value area of that previous 15-minute end cap, the pinpoint area, not some big value area, but this is actually pinpointed. And there's your rejection, and then there's your trade down to this institutional level here, or possibly this one down here. Anyways, again, if you have any questions, let us know in Discord or in the comment section below. If you would like to try it out, just go to our website, firstlightbeacon.com, and follow the prompts, and you can have a free trial. Thank you, and have a good one.